when you go to prison, the most important thing in your life is going to be booty.
Yeah, I better listen to him.
A man's butt. Booty.
What would you, an innocent person, do if you were surrounded by 3 cops and one of them decided to put his finger up your, well, let's just say where the sun don't shine? Police accountability activists received a rare victory this week when the 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals denied a police officer qualified immunity for kidnapping a man and shoving his fingers into the man's anus to look for drugs that weren't there. For ramming your fingers into an otherwise entirely innocent man's anus over a traffic stop is most assuredly a violation of the victim, Kevin Campbell's, rights as a human being. Here's the video.
A Detroit father says he was humiliated and horrified when a local police officer performed a body cavity search on him.
7 investigator Heather Catallo has the exclusive shocking video of this. So Heather, this man's attorney is really calling this unlawful, what they did to him, right?
That's right. Attorneys and law enforcement experts tell me it's against the law for a police officer to do a body cavity search like this.
Besides, think about this. Who in their right mind would want to stick their fingers up anybody's?
And Kevin Campbell says this will haunt him for the rest of his life.
This is Kevin Campbell, and that is Allen Park police officer Daniel Mack performing what Campbell says is an illegal body cavity search.
Again, does it really matter if it's legal or illegal? The point is, it's disgusting, humiliating, and ultra perverted.
Because you got it tucked in your
It was very...
Look at these guys standing around. Nobody's objecting and saying, hey man, nobody would want that done to him. What are you doing? It's like these cops have lost their humanity. Do they really need to go and look for drugs that bad? Is it really that important to you that you would do this?
Dehumanizing, but what he did was unconstitutional, violated my civil rights, and violated me as a man, period.
The 32-year-old father from Detroit says he was terrified to find himself in that jail cell, helpless.
And my fear switched over to me wondering, am I really going to make it out here alive?
Campbell says this all started back in June when Officer Mack pulled him over on the Southfield Freeway. Campbell says he had just bought this minivan for his wife, and it still had the temporary paper license plate taped to the window.
He told me that he couldn't see the license plate. I thought that was very weird and odd that he couldn't see a license plate by being 7 o'clock in the afternoon.
Campbell was driving with a suspended license since he says he can't afford to pay the fees needed to reinstate his driver's license. So Officer Mack patted him down, arrested him, and that's where Campbell says things start to go wrong. He
ran my name. He then got the K9 dog out. Him and the K9 dog went searching through the car, didn't find anything.
Campbell says that's because there were no drugs. Yet somehow, when they arrive at the Allen Park Police Department, Officer Mack is insisting that Campbell put something down his pants.
Your pants unzipped.
Now let's you just drop them pants.
I'm going to find it one way or another, all right? So we can do this easy way or the hard way.
When I go see him, I say, you come here. I said, I'm tell you what, I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right?
What do you got in your drawers?
This guy in the costume has some serious issues. Let's say he does have something in his drawers. It's none of the cops' business. See, this is the problem with order followers. They turn off their minds and they start trampling everybody's rights so they can please their political overlords. They're there to dominate people, take advantage of their authority, and generate revenue for the state.
After Campbell is put in the holding cell, Officer Mack becomes irate.
Drop your drawers.
Drop? Just take them right off.
I mean, what's this all about?
Don't say anything.
Then Officer Mack pats him down for a third time, unzips Campbell's pants, and looks down his underwear.
Don't say anything, just do it.
Just drop them, boy.
Yes, I can. Do that. Yes, I can.
Officer Mack is still insisting that Campbell needs to take his pants off.
Drop your doors. I'm not taking my underwear off.
Now, 2 other police officers enter the room, and here comes what Campbell and his lawyers say is the illegal body cavity search.
It's absolutely outrageous that 3 grown men have this guy surrounded and overpowered and are in the process of humiliating him with their disgusting, perverse actions.
Because you got to tuck in your in. All right? You can take it, man. Ain't nothing to keep.
The other officers were being aggressive with their voices telling me don't move and, you know, be still. But it's kind of hard to be still when, you know, you have someone grabbing your testicles through your underwear and putting their fingers in places that another man shouldn't be.
It is a body cavity search. It is the worst intrusion by any public officer anywhere on the face of the planet.
Attorney David Robinson represents Campbell and has now filed this lawsuit against the city of Allen Park and Officer Mack. Robinson says, according to Michigan law, a police officer must get a valid search warrant in order to have a body cavity search conducted. Robinson says there was no warrant, making this search illegal.
Heather, it was a crime.
And that's not all.
The only person that can do the searching, according to the statute, is a licensed medical professional. It doesn't happen in anybody's holding cell in any jail.
The 7 investigators checked with the state of Michigan. There is no record of Officer Daniel Mack having any sort of medical license.
Can you imagine his family sitting around watching the news and seeing this broadcast? You'd think his kids would say to him, "Dad, what the hell are you doing?" Can you imagine Dan coming home from work and saying, "Hey, honey, guess what I did today? I got to stick my fingers in another man's..." "You did what?" "Well, Bill and Ralph helped me. We thought the guy had drugs." "Dan, you've got some serious issues, honey." I mean, who does this?
Officer Mack makes no reference in his police reports to the body cavity search. A full report on that kind of search is required by law.
This is unconscionable.
As for Kevin Campbell, he says he can't sleep at night, and he says he was afraid to come forward, but he knew that he had to.
This is about the other people that it happened to. So if I don't stand up, who will? I know I'm not the only victim. And I just want all of you out there to stand up. Speak up. You have rights. Use them. What he did was not right. He can't get away with it. And no one else can get away with it.
Okay, guys, Quadstate cameras here. All humor aside, imagine how terrifying that would be if you were in a situation like that. A man, and you have a person, an authority figure, that's trying to violate you that way, and then there's other authority figures that are there that are just letting it happen. Imagine that how terrifying that would be. Okay, so shout out to, I believe his name is Kevin Campbell, for coming forward with that. I hope he gets paid a lot of money for it. I hope he does. I hope he's able to take it away from that cop. That cop's name, by the way, is Daniel Mack. Mack, what a name. Okay, so with that said, I was researching Daniel Mack in Allen Park, Michigan. I found one. I only found one. He's 55 years old. Now, I was not sure if that was the same Daniel Mack. You know how these guys are. They all name each other after, sons or whatever. First, seconds, thirds. And they all follow in their footsteps. They go be a cop or something like that. So the picture that they're showing of the officer, which I assume is in that video, doesn't look like he's 52. But, I put that in there because that's the only Daniel Mack that I found that was employed with the Allen Park, Michigan Police Department. Okay, I want to thank GreaseMonkeyVideos for putting that video out, making people aware. Go check his channel out. Buy one of his shirts. I probably will. I'm going to look at them. I bought a couple shirts. I bought shirts from James Freeman. Bought shirts from a couple other guys. I'm going to look at his shirt and buy one of his shirts. At least one. All right, so do that. And yeah, just like, subscribe, comment. Oh, I also want to know how this could happen. If you were thinking how this could happen, it all goes back to the whole thing with seizures, with them seizing property. Okay, this Daniel Mack, he's a canine officer, and I found another article. I'm going to link it in the description where they were praising. He had a dog that died in 2013, and they were praising that dog for finding like seizing over $1 million worth of assets. This is what this is turning into. Okay, now this happened in 2016. I'm assuming that now with us coming out of the current situation from last year, that these departments are hungry and they're going to try to get anything they can. They're going to try to get back in the black, so to speak, on your back. Don't let them do it. Get yourself a camera. Be careful. Don't talk to them. Don't be alone. You should actually have an attorney retained. There's another book, Arrest Proof Yourself. Dale Carson, I believe, wrote it. There's an arrestability factor. Okay, and if you have a lawyer retained, a lawyer on speed dial, you don't answer questions, you're knowledgeable about what your rights are, your arrestability factor starts to decline, and you're not a target to them. They don't want to mess with you. They're looking for easy targets. If you've ever spent some time in a courthouse and just kind of even sat there and see what kind of people in there, they have people called frequent flyers, and they just don't learn. They're in there all the time for stuff. Right? They get caught up in things, and they're just always there. Okay, so don't be like one of them guys. Yeah, but on my channel, Quadstate Cameras, like, subscribe, comment. I'm coming out with stuff. I do work a full-time job, and I do have a kid, so it's a little bit harder for me to come out with the videos as fast as I would like them. It's getting warmer out. I do occasionally you will see me on Disorderly Product News. I tend to go out with him sometimes. We go film cops, so I'm assuming that that's going to happen as well. I have to actually call him. I haven't really talked to him too much recently, but yeah, I'll call him. Anyway, thank you, and have a good night. Bye.